That's our quick quest. Now our storyline quest. Okay, Guild Wars 2 made an announcement at PAX East. Their visions of the past, Steel and Fire. Okay, out of what happened last year at PAX West, they had a big announcement. Everyone said, "Wow, yeah, but what Saga?" People are a little bit upset, perturbed. They weren't quite happy with it. I have not played Guild Wars 2 in several months, ever since WoW Classic came out. So I don't know. I have nothing to answer this, right? But does this sound like it's going to be something that the gaming community, especially Guild Wars 2 people, will like and want to have?
Probably not. Unfortunately, I think that ship's long been passed. Just because if you look at the financials, NCSoft released their quarterly reports, I believe, 3 weeks ago, and all revenues were down, but especially for Guild Wars or ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2. And
Wow.
yeah,
I didn't know that.
I don't remember the specific numbers, unfortunately, but yeah, it's it's not really looking good for ArenaNet right now. They had that PR nightmare with that SJW, what's her name, getting fired, because of some Twitter fight. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then they had to lay off some employees, I believe, like 5 months ago.
Right.
Yeah, so Guild Wars, the original Guild Wars was the game that I originally played that made me fall in love with online games and MMOs. So that company has a place in my heart. They always will. But Guild Wars 2 is a game that again, I got the collector's edition, or you can't even see it. Well, it's behind that thing. Just trust me, it's there. But we're all hyped about Guild Wars 2. We played it. I played like religiously for like a few months, but for whatever reason, like I just couldn't get back into it. And as I said earlier, offline, or at least I thought it was offline. I tried getting back into it. I tried to literally like force myself to like the game and play the game. I just couldn't do it. And although that's anecdotal, I think the numbers support my anecdotal evidence in terms of the MMO just I mean, it hasn't gone into maintenance mode, but it's getting to the point where it's like I don't think they're gonna really get a lot of returning customers,
Okay.
new or otherwise.
So you didn't play? Was it called Iceborne Saga? I think it was.
No, I didn't. I did buy the first expansion. I forgot what it was called. I even bought the collector's edition of the expansion, which was like $100, and then I played like a day of it, and I never touched it since. I was like, it's all right, ArenaNet, you can keep my money. I thoroughly enjoyed your products. I'm not even mad that I don't enjoy this game anymore. You can keep my money, but man, it's rough.
Okay, but you, Sir Jaziel.
I loved Guild Wars 2, and the living world stories were on top of the expansions were pretty mixed bag, but they were for the most part very fun, and definitely the bread and butter of the world changing different. I guess you could call them quests, but there are storylines that you play through, and I really enjoyed them. I played all of them up. I was still dabbling in it up till December, so I was up to date on all the living world stuff, and I was enjoying it. But yeah, a lot of people left, especially when they did lay off all those people just after the craziness of I can't remember her name at this point, but yeah, after she got fired and then they laid off all those people, and they all but told us players that they were going to go into maintenance mode, and a lot of people stopped playing, and I really didn't want to invest a whole lot of time into the game myself, as I just felt like, well, then it's dead, right? I mean, if they're not
Wow.
going to
Yeah.
provide any more story, then there's no more expansions coming. All they're going to do is just keep the game alive until there's nobody else playing it. Then I don't feel motivated or inspired to play any longer, really, other than just hopping on and messing around with it, casually. So when news of this new living world content came out, in my heart, I got a little there was a couple of beats there. I was like, oh, that'd be kind of fun. Maybe I'll buy it, buy the living world chapters and play through it. But I don't know. I'm kind of with Solomon on this. I don't see any of the other people that I was playing with hopping on board with that. I think they're all thinking the same thing, that we all were looking forward to other games or had gone back to World of Warcraft or ESO or Final Fantasy, and looking forward to New World. And people kind of have moved on. I think it's kind of a too little too late.
Yep.
Well, I know that this whole little teaser came at the end of a minute and a half video, and they said they're actually going to have the full trailer for this new thing on March 3rd. So I guess we'll see more of that. I mean, it sounds what gets me is that how soon they came out with this, considering how the Iceborne saga was not as received very well.
Right.
And so maybe this is a stepping stone toward making improvements. Like I said, I'm not as much of a Guild Wars 2 person as you. I played a little bit, but not as much. I tend to go with people who I play with. That's why I went from Guild Wars 2 to WoW Classic to WoW Retail.
Right.
Yeah.
And now to New World.
Now New World.
Well, not yet, but close.
All right, that's our storyline quest. We are talking about some big MMO piece news. So now comes our class quest. So smaller pieces of news. So as I don't know if you all saw or not. I know Solomon reminded us. I didn't do it. I make sure, but Black Desert Online was $0, and that was like 5 days. And are we past the 5 days now? I wrote these notes up when he's probably going to stream on Thursday. So
I think you have up until March 4th or 3rd, so you still got about a few more days.
It's on Steam.
Yes. It's on Steam.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if I don't think I bought the game. I think they did the beta. Okay, so I'll find it out. Anyway, so if you want to play Black Desert Online, a lot of people do. It's free right now, so go get it. Okay?
I'm playing it right now.
Okay?
I'm playing it right now, as always.
I mean, it's free.
Yeah, right.
So why not?
I mean, even if you aren't sure that you're going to play it, why not?
Oh, the servers are packed right now. I have never seen such packed servers in my life since I've been playing this game 2 years ago. It's kind of amazing, actually.
So that was the one thing. So the next thing was, sorry, sudden so Jaziel is gone. Happened to Jaziel.
Oh, there he is.
Is he back?
I see him. Gotta feed the hamsters, man.
As much as I pay them, you'd think I'd have the best service in the world.
I don't see him. He's not. Do you hear him?
Yeah, I hear him.
I don't see or hear him. So.
Give it about a minute. We had this problem like a few weeks ago.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm showing myself on my end.
Well, wait for him to come back. I'm going to check my Black Desert Online. It's free. I don't have it.
You got that filthy Washington speed.
I played the beta, so I guess I better add this to my...
Yeah, it's free. Like, why not? This is going to take like 5 minutes of your time. I mean, I think it's worth a free game.
Yeah. There you go. All right. Where is he? All right. Well, while we're waiting for... No, I can't wait. No, I'll wait. Because you can cut us out in post, right?
No, yeah, I could. Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand why it's like that, because I see it.
So, cranberry with whiskey is pretty good.
He still can't hear you, yeah.
I can't hear you. Nope. Why is that? Wait, now he's back. Talk?
Hello?
I hear you. Okay.
Yeah, see, like I said, give it a minute. We had this problem before. I mean,
okay.
So just give it a minute.
All right, the next one is a story that we mentioned before that came from Solomon. And if you're not watching Solomon's videos, okay, Whiskey and RPGs, you should. A lot of good information there.
Cheers, Dad. Thank you.
Blue Protocol apparently will be Japan first.
Mm-hmm.
It won't hit the North America market first. I know you mentioned it before, or at least you mentioned about Blue Protocol, but now the news is coming Japan first. So we're not going to see it till later. Not a big deal, but yeah. Roblox, which I've never played.
Oh, there you go.
What was that?
That was my phone.
Was that me?
Yeah, that was you.
I fixed it.
Roblox is worth $4 billion with 150 million monthly users.
I saw that article actually.
So if you guys aren't watching, well, Hype to Husky when he first started off was doing Roblox, It had a lot of followers. Okay, and I think he's now been doing more Fortnite. But Roblox is I know people like my friend. He has 2 kids. His son was thinking about playing Fortnite. Not he's playing Minecraft, and his daughter plays Roblox. And I'm like, whoa, okay, that's interesting. I've never played the game, only watched it. So I thought that was interesting.
Wait, so
Apparently,
Roblox is a game built off of the Minecraft engine, right? Or is it a
so it
totally
is.
separate thing? Oh, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, it's its own
I don't-
thing.
It's its own thing. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, something. Yeah, but anyways, I mean, people love it and people love playing it, and I never tried it, but I just amazed that it's worth 4 billion and 115 million monthly users. I mean, MMOs love to have that. I mean, that's why WoW just blew everybody away.
Right.
So
Well, I think the guy that created Minecraft, he sold it to Microsoft for like 1.2 billion, was it? Not million, but billion, I think it was.
yeah.
It was a
So
lot.
these,
So
I don't know what you would call that, like a dynamic, destructible environment type of game that Roblox
Yeah.
and Minecraft are. I mean, there's obviously a huge market for that, you know. So
Yeah, Alan was saying it uses the engine, but it's inspired by Minecraft.
okay.
Yeah. So that's the other one here. Before we get to some Solomon notes, okay. For those who don't know, Girls' Day is March 3rd.
Oh, we're doing
Every
this.
year, okay. Girls' Day is March 3rd, okay. Boys' Day is May 5th, okay. I've been doing this for decades. My wife,
Oh my
me
goodness.
from Hawaii, the Japanese American community in Hawaii. March 3rd is Girls' Day. May 5th is Boys' Day. Anyways, so Girls' Day is coming up, and Final Fantasy 14, which my son plays a lot of, and he said, "Yeah, this is a thing." Okay.
Wait. So
Yeah.
let me ask you: is this normally a Japanese thing, not just a Final Fantasy thing?
For Girls' Day,
Yeah.
Girls' Day, it's in Japan, but I don't know how worldwide it is. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was solely an event from Final Fantasy 14. That's
No,
why.
Girls' Day is we have several dolls, right,
Mhm.
in our house that were given to my kids on the Boys' Day, Girls' Day.
Oh, that makes sense.
So Final Fantasy
Oh.
14 being a Japanese game, right, brings Little Ladies' Day around once again. Yeah, I'm proud of my son who plays the game. Yeah, this is a yearly thing, an event. You do things, collect stuff, type of thing. So yeah. But hey, if you happen to have daughters out there, you better be celebrating Girls' Day, March 3rd. 3/3 Girls' Day, 5/5 Boys' Day. Anyways,
Okay.
Yeah, if you watched my episode, I literally thought like, what the heck is this? Why would they make a day for little girls? That's so creepy. So I'm like, so in the video, I'm like, I straight up said, I'm not touching this. Sorry, guys. I didn't know it was an actual like day in Japan though.
It's an actual thing, yes. So
Yeah.
Alan says I misquoted him. He said not the engine. He says I don't think it uses the engine, but it's inspired by Minecraft.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I've
Apparently,
yeah.
Alan is not celebrating Girls or Boys Day. Well, I'm sorry for you. Okay. He has daughters. Okay. He has a wife too. You know. My wife even texted me, "Hey, I'm bought some gifts for the girls. They're coming to your house. So give them out to the girls on Girls' Day." Okay.
All right. Well, in that context, I'm
now-
so glad that you cleared that up for me because
Now it's time
Yeah.
for some Solomon notes. What notes do you have for us, Solomon?
let's see, what's the big news? Well, the big news just happened. Again, it was dominated by Blue Protocol actually. If you look into YouTube and Google, it's just like, you know, the news for Blue Protocol and how the developers were saying that so if you go to their subreddit post for Blue Protocol, there was like a community that was actually translating the actual stream, and the stream was like an hour and 30 minutes. It was really long, and I don't know if they actually translated it the entire thing, and if they did, kudos to them because man, that seems like a lot of work. But you have a lot of dedicated fans who really wants this game to come out to the US, and so Initially, when Blue Protocol was first announced, I believe 1.5 years ago, it was meant to be a worldwide release. It was supposed to be released Japan and everywhere else at the same time.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But then Bandai Namco backpedaled and was like, well, you know what? We're actually just going to focus on Japan for now, with no word on a worldwide release. And then now they kind of backpedaled again and said, okay, but we're going to release it in Japan, and we will release it everywhere else first, but we're going to focus on Japan first. And because it's going to be a Japanese focused MMORPG right now, it would be interesting to see how that will play out with the rest of the world and how they will receive it. But I think they'll receive it well, just because one, again, there really isn't a whole lot of JMMORPGs out there.
Right.
Like, you could name Final Fantasy 14, that's about it. You could probably name like these little smaller ones, like Indian ones that no one's ever heard of. And two, I think the popularity of JRPGs in general has gone up over the years, especially with the popularity of anime. In my opinion, popularity of anime has been more popular now than it has ever been. And this is somebody who's been growing up with anime since the 90s, and so yeah, and combine those things together, those attributes together, and then you have a perfect storm for a game that could do potentially really well as an MMORPG format.
Apparently, you saying a MMORPG was too many letters to say with a straight face, according to Alan. Okay, so
Well, it is what I don't know if people actually use that phrase JMMORPG, but I mean, I'm just using it for the purposes of this
film. It's the first time I heard of it. Yeah, and it's a good one. Okay, 'cause you're right. 'Cause like other ones, like Black Desert, are K MMORPG.
Right, and that was one of my points I actually made in my my last episode, was that when you actually think of different countries, you actually do think of different attributes that those games have. Like if you think of a Korean game, you think of a game that looks absolutely gorgeous, very visually appealing, but when you think of an American game or an American MMO or RPG, you think of a game that's very centered on sort of that not role play, but like a tabletop game, like the like Dungeons and Dragons. Those are types of games that you think of when you think of China. You think of just greedy corporations. No, just kidding. Oh, I'm gonna get banned for that one. So, but no, when you think of China, you kind of think of along the lines of similar to what you see in Korea too. To be honest with you, but I think they themselves are trying to kind of find their own identity within the gaming community. But that's a whole nother that's neither here nor there. So, but yeah.
Well, Colt was thinking we should call it America MMORPG.
America
MMOO.
No, I don't know.
All right. Any other Solomon notes you got there?
Man, it's just when you cover so much stuff here and there, they all just become a blur, and it's just like I know I covered a lot, but
that's why everyone should go watch your videos on YouTube, Whiskey and RPGs.
I should remember what I put in my videos in Whiskey and RPGs. Jeez.
I just the main reason why I did this was to, like, pop-ins if you had like something you really want to highlight.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. I think it's a good segment, but because the lacking of my memory and my part, I'll come better prepared next time when we do this. So I do apologize.
Well, someone asked me where's the whiskey. Well. All right, so now our side quest, okay? Our side quest. And this is a good question that Sir Jazeel popped in, okay? What franchise... We'll start with Jazeel because he popped the question. What franchises would you like to see adapted into an MMO?
Yeah, I had several that came to mind, and...
Does it involve cats?
Yeah. Something about the word hello.
Colt said Fortnite. Oh. No.
No.
So, okay. No.
The one that I instantly came up with, but I really, when I got thinking about it more, I don't know how well it would do, because it's been such a long time.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right? No matter what, it's been a long time or who's tried for it. If this is a franchise you want to see adapted into MMO, why not?
I think Firefly would. And
that
now
would be cool.
Before anyone steps up, because I know it'll be said, there was an attempt to do an MMO. Although, well, I don't want to go through the whole story like I did on Discord, but there were actually 2 attempts to make a Firefly game, and there is some argument whether the second one was actually an MMO or if they were planning on turning it into a single player game. But both iterations of it had their blessings by the studio that owns the franchise, as well as the director and the cast members, and I remember playing an early demo of the first version of it, and it was pretty cool. I just think that again, when I say this, it's going to sound like Star Trek, or like a description of Star Trek, but just the Western mixed with sci-fi was just excellent. The characters in it were excellent. The show was canceled way too early.
Yeah, 1 season only. Yep.
Yeah, and they did put a movie out to tie up the loose ends, and the movie was pretty excellent. I don't think everybody thought that, but I enjoyed it. I thought they did a pretty good job. I was still left wanting more, and I think the way that and the I wouldn't say millions of fans out there, but definitely thousands and thousands of fans out there could get
absolutely
in without bringing the show back, which they really can't do now. The actors are getting old now. Would be to have an MMO version of it. I just think it really lends, and we haven't had other than WildStar. There's been a couple of other sci-fi style MMOs out there, but this, man, I can't think of anything other than maybe Farscape, if anyone remembers that show.
Oh yeah, Farscape too. Yeah,
that would be my second option. Now, the problem with these 2 shows is it's been a long time. They've been off the air.
Yeah.
And I don't know that there would be that many people interested in it at this point. But
yeah, I think it'd be good ideas, though.
Yeah.
Those are good ideas. How about you, Solomon? What do you have as your franchises you want to see adapted to MMOs?
I didn't really think about this question just because I want Star Citizen to finally come out.
I'm
just kidding.
No. It's not even an MMO, is it?
No, it's an MMO.
Is it?
Sort of loosely.
It blurs the lines, but it's only an alpha right now. So, well, I mean, if Elite Dangerous is considered an MMO, I don't see why Star Citizen wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Anyways, man, there is one. I don't know how you pull it off though, but
it doesn't matter how you pull it off. What do you want to see?
Mechwarrior and Gundam.
Oh,
because like I'm always playing Mechwarrior. Whenever I stream on Twitch, or at least when I used to stream a lot more, and being a huge Gundam fan, being a huge Mecha fan, I've always that's the one like realm or genre that hasn't been turned into an MMO. Like think of an MMO, like Robotech, like name an MMO where the primary device or transportation is the mech. You know what I mean? Like how would you incorporate that? Because it just boggles my mind. Like how would I do it? And it just hurts my brain how you could even do that in the first place.
You could. Everspace 2, I know it's single player, right? Is that basically you can level up your ship by doing quests. So why not just turn the body, okay, who your character is, right, into a mech? I don't know.
And still have a persistent world?
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be a cluster.
It's just skin, I don't know, but
imagine having like 1,000 ships in one place. Like, how incredibly...
Again, no, but they stress tested, like, say, Camelot Unchained with all the people in one spot. It's just a skin, right? And or armor. It's just like, it's just graphics more. I don't know.
You just kind of do it with Eve.
Yeah.
Well, Eve, yeah, that's true. Although Eve is a little bit anyways, but yeah, but again, with mechs though, it's just like you'd have the mech and the pilot, but then I guess you take the pilot out of the equation. I don't know. But
Yeah.
but either way, the golden age of mechs kind of died back in 2006, I would say. I think it peaked in 2003 with Evangelion, however you pronounce it, and then all the mech games and the mech animes and the mech movies just kind of started dying down by 2006.
They always come back though.
You think so?
Or they seem to. Yeah, they've.
And well done, MMO.
I mean, Robotech and I almost said GoBots, but I don't really want to include them. But I guess they were popular. And Transformers were early '80s, and they, they go out of style, they come back after 10 or 15 years, then they go out of style again, come back.
I get Transformers. I get Transformers. I wouldn't really include them because they're technically living organisms that just so happen to be metal.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Anyways, but I'm being nitpicky here. I love Transformers, but not the way I like not in a BattleTech or Gundam or Robotech or Macross kind of way, you know.
But I guess maybe a better example from that time period would have been Voltron.
So Jesse was frozen on my screen, but okay. Before I get to my answer, Alan, who likes to be Mr. Funny Guy, okay. 2D Sonic game. Whatever.
Make that into an MMO?
Colt was like, why not have the 12-year-olds take over the MMO scene and kill WoW? That would continue their quest to ruin the internet. But Colt was saying, because Colt is an MMO. Okay, I was chatting with him one time, and the realization was that I thought he was more of an FPS player. No, he's an MMO player. Okay, too. Okay, so I give him he elevated his standing in my mind with the fact that the MMO players. He just said we need a new Star Wars MMO.
No,
now,
we don't.
I like SWTOR, but I don't like the graphics. Okay, so now Alan would say he'd much rather have a Spaceball MMO.
I'd play that.
So
I'd play that.
And Alan
sure.
says, Jaziel game makers having been trying to crack into the retirement home market for a long time. So Colt was saying that he agrees with you guys about Star Citizen and the other one because it's massive, it's multiplayer, it's online. Okay. But Alan then, of course, where's the Mad Max MMO? I thought they were attempting one time to do that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a Ready Player One MMO adaptation. Okay. And ultimately, what Colt says, what we all agree upon it. We just need a new capital letters. Okay. We all just need a new good MMO. Okay.
Yeah. Star Citizen.
They were trying to do this, didn't work, hasn't done it right. Is Stargate SG1?
Oh, I totally forgot
They
about
were working
that.
on one. They didn't do it. I love the franchise. I mean, I agree with Colt. I would love another Star Wars MMO that wasn't SWTOR. I like SWTOR, but I like the graphics. I haven't played it. I would love a Star Wars Galaxy type thing that was a little more so. I'll say I love Star Wars. There's already a Star Trek MMO, so you can play that if you want to. But I mean, Stargate SG1, that'd be kind of cool because you can go to different worlds, and you can go find the Gawood or whatnot. It'd be kind of fun. Okay, so that's me. So that's where I'm at.
Cool.
If Star Citizen and the other one you mentioned, can't remember now all of a sudden, are MMORPGs, that's different. Maybe I should try that and think that way about it. I just don't think of them that. I don't think of them that way. But that's the one thing me and Cole on our agree disagree. By the way, if you want to see a good show every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern, go see Agree Disagree with me and Colt. He brought up some good points about FPSs versus MMOs and the blurring the line. I mean, Destiny 2 is not an MMO, but it is an MMO. So what is a true MMORPG? So maybe you guys are right.
You know, the one game that's going to probably blur that line even more is a game developed by Pearl or Kakao Games called Section 8. What was it? Or Sector 8? Do you know what I'm talking about? G-Star last year, 2019, G-Star in Busan, Korea. They showcased 3 games. One of them was Crimson Desert. The other one was Tokebi. And the third one was MMO FPS with like a post-apocalyptic, very mech sort of. You guys don't remember that one?
Sort
Not
of.
directly.
Something 8, like Directive 8 or Sector 8 or something like that. Sorry, I just wanted to just kind of pitch that in there while you were talking about that. Sorry, go ahead.
Cole has a good question. Something we talked about on our show, Ray. How big does it have to be an MMO? Fallout 76 is not an MMO, okay? It is 24 people in an instance, okay?
That's a good question, actually. Like,
I
how
thought
massive
over
does that have to be?
100, but I also thought thinking of 1,000 because 100 is Fortnite
Mm.
or PUBG, and so no, they're not MMOs, okay? Maybe MMO battle royales, okay?
Well,
But
even if it had 100 players, the mechanics and gameplay doesn't even resemble anything close to an MMO. Because MMO, you
Right.
also need to have stats, which Fortnite doesn't. So even if it
sure.
had 1,000 players, it still wouldn't be considered an MMO.
Okay, so I guess maybe we should the terminology is wrong, I guess, right? When we say it's massively multi online, okay, we're in an RPG part we don't, okay, that's the
Okay, fair
part.
enough.
So when you say that, right? So you're right. I guess you're right with the fact that there are aspects of a PUBG or Fortnite that does not fit into an MMO as we know it. But when you think about the words massive, multi, online, you're like, well, what does that mean? What is massive?
I'm gonna revert back to the golden age times of MMORPGs, when people would generally describe it as a persistent world capable of housing or able to hold like up to 1,000 or maybe even 2,000 players.
No, that's. I remember it being between 1,000 and 2,000.
Right? Per realm or server, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
So that would be my standard, just because I think, just a little old school like that, I guess.
Okay, fair enough. Because 100 seems to be too small. I mean, I know that when WoW Classic came out, they had the server, okay, and all these layers because they knew there'd be all these people. So we were all in the same server, but we didn't see everybody. We would if we were jumping into a dungeon or a quest, right? But you wouldn't see it. All the different layers meant that basically, effectively, you only saw X number of people at one time. But there was massive because you knew that possibility existed of seeing them all.
Right.
Hmm.
So then is the definition supposed, or not supposed to, but like how am I word this? Sorry, I got to think about this for a second. Hang on.
Fair enough. It's good. Because a really good question that was popped up in our stream, and I was thinking 1,000, okay, but I look on type it online. There's no such definition. At least my quick search of finding it.
Right.
Right. So the question was franchises. So Drazio said Firefly and Farscape. No, Farscape? No.
Yes, Farscape.
Farscape. Solomon wants Hello Kitty.
It's true.
No, he wants a Mechwarrior type of thing. Okay, yeah.
Mechwarrior kitties. That's what I want.
And I said Stargate. So we're all three saying we want a sci-fi type of MMO.
That's actually true, right?
Yeah.
Hey, really?
Yeah, that's why I keep saying Star Citizen. I sometimes just say that just to piss off Dad, but
talking about old
I'm not invested.
Nursing home. That's when it's going to come out. Is when all three of us are in the nursing home.
Yeah, that's right. I'm not invested. I started a lot of games, but not Star Citizen.
I did.
Well, okay, Alan. Most kids are sci-fi. To be fair, well, no, sci-fi is science fiction, not fantasy. Most MMOs are fantasy.
Yeah, I would say that's correct.
I mean, WoW, Rift, Guild Wars, those are all fantasy. Well, let's talk about train games. Train MMO. There you go.
How would that work?
I don't know. We're all our train. We're our own train, okay? We are Thomas the Tank Engine, okay?
Oh, no.
If I was a train, I'd be sure I just follow you along and crash into you, do everything I can to make sure everything.
Thomas the Tank Engine and Friends MMO.
No. Hey, Colt's like, I'm ready for a nursing home. Still young.
I sure am.
All right, before we go to our escorts quest, okay, so we're talking about our upcoming event. Assuming I was listening to the massively OP podcast about New World, they're questioning whether or not New World will actually release on time, okay? But if it does, we are planning a May 26th Whiskey MMOs and More, okay, launch of that game. We're going to play it. We're going to buy it. We're going to get into it. We'll have a pre-launch party. We'll get into it. We'll play it more times and whatnot will be noted later on, but we want to do that. So if you get ready to join us on New World. We're going to do it, okay? Which leads me to our last question. Because of the story I heard about New World, I call it escort quest. You know, I see get it. I named everything based on quests. Yeah, that kind of cool, I thought. Should game companies delay releases of their product to make the fixes?
Wait, say that again.
Should game companies delay release of their products to make fixes?
What happens if I say no?
That's your opinion. It's fine.
No, because that's not an opinion that I'd agree with, though. It's like, of course, like, well, like, would you?
Offended there.
Well, no. It's like you wouldn't expect that. You wouldn't expect that same standard for anything else, though, right? Like, what if you were making a car and it was missing a few bolts and pieces? It would fall apart and kill somebody, right? So it's like, of course, you would want your polish to be absolutely polished and ready to go as much as you get rid of the bugs as you can.
Yeah, but so many game companies seem as if that we, the gamers, would rather see the release date met and not wait for a delay to get it fixed. Now, it used to be that game companies do that. They would delay. We would say, but fine, we'll love that, okay? Do it right. We don't want to play a bad game. But nowadays, the companies release on time. Well, if we, the gamers, are saying we want a delay and do it well, why are the game companies holding to their dates so hard?
Shareholders.
They're releasing crappy products.
It is shareholders.
Yeah, but the thing is, we're the ones buying the game. Shareholders get all their.
They're the ones funding the game.
Their numbers off of us. Okay. Well, yeah, I know that, but we're the ones buying. They're funding it, and we pay back their money. If we're not going to buy it, if we're not going to love it, then their money won't come back. They'll be losing profit. They won't get their shares per whatever,
But Dad, quarterly reports, the sheets have to be there. The numbers have to.
Stakeholders are not just stakeholders; are shareholders, employees, and customers. We, the customers. Now, JCPenney once said, "Customer is always right. The customer is not always right." Okay,
no, that's true.
But the customers do create a certain value in the company and will tell, hey, Jaziel, I bought a Packard Bell. They screwed me. Don't buy them. Okay, I won't buy them. So there is that, okay? But
there's a couple of things. And I understand it from the business perspective, and Solomon is unfortunately correct that it does have a lot to do with that, with quarterly earnings. Huh?
It seems wrong, but I get the point.
It does seem wrong, and it is not the way that businesses should think about it. But money rules. So the way that I've brought up Blizzard a couple of times with the way that they used to do things, and I really appreciate it. It was frustrating, but I understood, and I could be a little bit more patient because they used to have a motto that they did not make any dates for release until they knew that they absolutely were going to make it.
Yeah.
The product was tested. It was good. It was able to go into the consumer's hands. And all that they basically needed to do was send it off to the pressing plant.
Mm-hmm.
before they would make any date for release. And it was frustrating because sometimes, I mean, I remember hearing about Diablo 2 like 3 years before it was released. StarCraft 2 was several years before it was released. Uh, World of Warcraft, I think, was like 2.5. No, I know they worked on it for 6 years, but I remember hearing about it several years before any announcement was really officially made. And their games were, when they were released, they were good. You know,
You
they
brought up a
would
good
have a bug or two, but
right. So you brought up a good point, Sir Jaziel. I mean, something that Justin said in my chat, right?
mhm,
He said, bring it back to the Nintendo days when the game had to be complete on the game cartridge before release. You said pressing disc, eh?
right.
That meant that
Mm,
literally once you press a disc, you released, okay, you had a game. There was no first day patches. Eventually, they started being released the game on disc and first day patches. Now, with the dates, I'm wondering how much of this is playing into where they know they have a date and they're hoping and hoping and hoping that by the time they get ready, they can release the first day. The first day patch will be good. I can remember one game, literally, was it Fallout 76, where the first day patch just really killed everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was just as big, it's just as big as the actual game itself, right?
right.
So I'm wondering if that changed the market because before you used to press a disc, make a cartridge, and now you
Mhm.
can just do it at last minute.
Well, that I agree with the whole Nintendo back in those days type of things, but games are just infinitely times much more complicated, more complex now than those 16-bit days. So although I agree with that
True.
settlement, like realistically, I don't think that you can't really do that anymore.
Well, we're
So
talking about a console that's universal, that it, we know what parts are in that console. We
mhm,
know that if it works for console A, it's going to work for console B. With the PC market, we don't know that
mhm.
because people build their own PCs with different parts and they have different things running on their PC, and they have um, different manufacturers and all these different things that you have to be concerned with that you're not at all concerned with the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. You
Yeah.
know that Kennethan's PlayStation 4 is the same as Solomon's PlayStation 4. And it's easier to push that product out as a finished product that if it works for Kennethan's machine, it's going to work for Solomon's because it's the same components.
But even then, consoles are moving slowly away from that too, as well. If you notice with the Xbox, there's like 3 different types of Xboxes right now in the market, Xbox Ones right now, and depending on what you have, one
Yeah.
actually has better horsepower than the other. One doesn't even have a CD disc, and the other one actually has more RAM and stuff like that. So
Yeah, yeah. Mostly it's to do with well, because they do the slim versions and all that too
right.
now, to get an extra buck and milk it a little bit longer, but mostly.
Yeah.
I might be
Well,
digressing on this point though, and tell me if I am, then I'll edit it out. But no matter how crappy it seems, we're always talking about greed, how greedy EA is, how greedy Activision is. They're only going to listen to the shareholders, not the gamers, and I agree to a certain extent. I think that's not the way to go, but at the same time, my mind wanders off a bit and goes like, well, what's the alternative? And I'm
Yeah.
thinking out there is just like, well, we could go full blown communism, and is that going to make things better? And not that you have to. I'm just saying, like, as bad as our system is, I think it's the best system we have, because heaven knows if we were living in North Korea right now, there's no such thing as a video game or something. So I think I'm just coming at it at a different perspective as an industry as a whole. It's like there's not going to be a system where you're always going to be 100% satisfied with whatever product that you're going to get
Yeah.
from an industry that's ran by people who are just you know going to be just going to screw things up. We all screw things up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, what's interesting is that CD Projekt Red was given kudos by a lot of folks for delaying Cyberpunk 77 or 2077. It's not ready. They delayed it. And was like, oh yeah, good. We want a game that is good before you release it. and yet Warcraft 3 was crap. Okay, I mean, it's like,
I mean, I refunded it, so yeah.
and at first Blizzard wasn't refunding anybody. We finally did. Okay, I mean, I have Kickstarted many games who are supposed to be out by now, but they delayed because they want to do it right. I get that. I much rather have a right game than a bad game. I've seen
Right.
Fallout 76. Yeah, not so good. We all saw I don't think Blizzard's Battle for Azeroth was a unfinished game, but there's too many companies out there that seem to spend more time wanting to fix it afterwards. I mean, it's a lot of companies nowadays also take the model of like, hey, guess what? It's early release on Steam. Come buy it and help us make it, which is fine to a certain level. I don't want to do that. I want to finish complete a game, but that's their way of getting around it. Well, it's not complete. It's not complete. It's not complete. You know, what's the game? No Man's Sky was crap at first, and they've made fixes on it. Okay, so I just want a company that just builds it right. I'm okay to wait. I obviously I have less life left than Solomon does.
Don't say that.
I am older. So but
now you're just gonna make me feel bad. I'm just gonna
Well, you're younger. You're 20 years younger. What's wrong with that? Okay?
Yeah, say it that way then. Don't say I got a lot less life than I do.
So in our chat, I want to give a chance. Okay, Alan was saying, should companies make people pay for an incomplete product? Cole was saying yes, we should delay. Okay.
No, I agree.
Alan was saying, I have a DLC for my car. It's called Gas, Solomon.
Oh, I thought he was gonna say it's a Tesla. Because Teslas, you could actually upgrade your firmware. That's true.
Yeah, that's true. I think they do put that out cars like that. Then they recalls them. It's true. We the gamers are the most fickle group of people on the internet. That is true too. We complain a lot. Okay. Yeah, complain about everything possible. Late or unfinished people complain no matter what. That's right. Ken brought up GJC Penny on the MMO show. Yep, I'm good at that. Alan was like, customers create a certain value on the company. Yeah, customers make the company valuable. True. Without a customer, Cole said, without a customer, you have no company. Okay. Let's see what else I guess. I want to clip some of this stuff. They're complaining about my PS4. It's all dusty. Then it's like, Ken thinks consoles and controllers are useless, overpriced pieces of plastic that nobody should ever waste money on. Is that right, Ken? I do own a Xbox One and a PS4, so I don't know. How many plastic lightsabers do you have?
How many do you have?
4. I think 3 plastics and 1 Ultra Saber.
I have 3.
There you go. See? Well, all the companies just think, yeah, we can push out some patches to fix whatever they complain about. You get Colt, dang, Ken. Yeah, they go, Solomon lives reckless. You mean have more life than him? Colt's like, Solomon has something to live for people, so give him a quality MMO. I was like, dang.
Wait, shouldn't that be shouldn't she be saying that to Ken then?
Alan says, dang, should have taken the under.
My goodness.
Oh my god.
You guys are brutal.
So I think we all agree, right, that we want a game that's good and we're willing to wait, right?
I'd rather be angry with them, or not angry. I wouldn't be angry. I'd rather be a little bit anxious and frustrated that they postponed it than be actually angry because I pre-ordered something that arrived, downloaded onto my computer, and then was virtually unplayable. And I don't, just real quick on doing early access stuff, I don't mind doing that, but only really for indie studios, not AAA ones. Because I figure that's helping them out, get the game out. And if it's an interesting premise and it's already playing, relatively well, I don't mind giving them a little bit of money to help them along and continue development. I mean, we did that with Outlaw the Old West, and
now you're sounding like Ken when he talks about Camelot Unchained.
Well, yeah. Well,
Mark
it is.
Jacobs.
Yeah, there you go.
It is the same.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to Outlaws of the Old West, though. I guess it's still around, but who knows? I don't know.
See, so Jazil's facial hair makes
What
him
about-
look like he is always unamused with the shenanigans. I'm from Alan. He has a hair frown on his face.
It's true.
Oh my goodness. Colt says, or something you can't log into and it crashes all the time. About Fallout 76 launch. I clicked the play button at release time and it uninstalled Fallout 76. Yeah, that was horrendous. Okay. When people tell me that, I go, I already downloaded the game. Yeah. I clicked the button. First thing it did was had to reload everything. Like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, that's what gets me. I mean, I know there are a lot of trolls out there. We've seen it. I mean, I don't follow, thank goodness, I don't follow Reddit as much or whatnot. I just listen to podcasts, like say Massively OP. And a lot of gamers complain. A huge number of gamers complain. Okay. And yet a lot of even though they're complaining about the game or the delay in the game, the most, I think for me, the most of the anger comes when the game is bad.
Especially if you
Delay,
crowdfunded it.
they'll suffer. They'll be complain and say, "What kind of people are you? You're terrible developers. You know what you're doing. You should get out of the business." Right? You can't be on time. What's your schedule? Why isn't your agile process working? Whatever. Okay. But the more complaints come like, "This is a terrible game. I want my money back." Okay. So take the hits of being late. Take the hits of being behind, and do it right.
You know what it is too, I think, is also quantity versus quality. Sometimes you just have those few that keep complaining over and over and over again, and it's echoed. And so even though it might be only a handful of people complaining and just moaning about blah blah blah, because they keep doing it, it just seems like everybody else is doing it
Yeah,
too, and it's blown out of
that's right.
proportion. So you really have to kind of gauge where the complaints are, where the constructive criticism lies, and what you could do. Take
That's
that
a
data
fair
and what you could
statement.
do to better your game. So
Well said.
Mm.
All right, so Alan's saying that's some quality coding. Colt said, best launch troll of all time. I can't appreciate it now, but wanted to strangle Todd Howard at the moment. Absolutely. You promised more than that, okay?
Dude, he's been doing
Alan
that for
says,
20 years. I mean, what's
I know
new?
the need to chill on pre-sales and hype building, and people will stop complaining so much. Yeah. Most of the great giant games were games that came out of nowhere. It's true. Colt says, yeah, if the companies would be hush hush and not build the hype and then put out an amazing game, their game would blow up. Exactly, says Alan. Colt says, like Apex. People really didn't know anything about it, and it was a nice surprise when it dropped. That is true. The
Yep.
same with Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I mean, I knew we knew about it coming out, but it basically within a year it was out. They first mentioned they was at like some was it PC, what was it? Was it I forget what was that, right? Some they talked to the guy front row. Yeah, we're doing this game. A year later it was out.
That's it, huh? We're doing this game and
Basically.
I'm just
I mean, I said I kickstarted so many games that I want to be right. My biggest fear is that all these games will drop at the same time. So for me, a lot of us gamers have this huge stable of games. I call it lots of games, not enough time. And so for you to delay a game gives me more time to play my current game.
It's called the Steam syndrome.
Steam syndrome. There you go. Hey, Rain, whiskey. Laugh out loud. Perfect name. Yeah. Anyway, so that was a good discussion, good conversation.
For shizzle.
This should go to all of the game companies. It should go to Bethesda, to BioWare, to Blizzard, to whatever. Say, guys, make it right. We're willing to wait. We're willing to pay for your extra special editions with all the perks if we knew the game was good. We have been so burned out of buying these advanced orders and having them crap and having these dead weights in our house that we're willing to wait for good games and pay for it well.
But then how much of that is confirmation bias? Never mind. Actually, that's a different story. Never mind. No, don't answer it. We don't have time. No, seriously, I said that as a trolley way. I really don't. I don't. Yeah.
I was like, lots of games, not enough time, rolls off the tongue, just as well as JMMORPG. No, we're not willing to pay for special editions. Don't put that out there. Special editions are almost as bad as pre-orders.
No, they're not. Actually, they are.
Rain's asking Alan for a recap. Whatever.
Did you guys not
so
see my Tabula Rasa special edition? That's like worth 50 cents.
You showed last time, right? So Alan says Ken and Trazio are old and Solomon is Asian.
He knows the original title.
That's Ray. That's Alan's TLDR for Raid. Great. Thanks a lot, Alan.
I don't know if you heard.
Why not? So, what's that?
No, I don't know if you heard, but that was almost the original name of our podcast.
So Colt was asking, why not pre-order special editions? Well, I mean, I have a nice whatever power armor helmet over there, okay? And it cost me for it, but the game sucks, okay? So I don't mind having that power armor. The game sucks. I have bought like a Mass Effect Andromeda hoodie, okay, and stuff. I have bought these things. I'm like, why? Why get burned by a game, you know?
It's okay, Dad. We've all been there.
All right. We have officially finished our show. Okay. So once again, May 26th, we will be playing New World, Amazon's New World, assuming it does not delayed. Okay. They've been talking about housing and bringing some PvP again and PvE and whatnot. And there might be changes to it, but we'll do that game. So join us on May 26th for that. Well, more information will come out with that. We also plan on playing a free-to-play MMO at some point and having you guys join us on this and talk about it on our next show. We usually do these shows on Friday nights. I had a IRL event yesterday on Friday night, so we didn't do it. So we did Saturday instead. That's, of course, Saturday's better. I don't know if Saturday's better or not, okay? But, yeah.